Alright, hey everybody, it is Tony and I am back. I have 4 TTMs for you on this Monday, so let's get started. It is time for the teaser of my 3-year YouTube anniversary giveaway, starting on March 1st and ending on March 24th. That's 23 days of a chance to enter in this awesome giveaway. The details will come to you February 28th, but these are the rules. You have to be a public subscriber. So make sure you are public on your subscribing list. You must be over the age of 18, and you must live in the United States or Canada. First one comes from Mr. Rolf Benirschke. He was the daytime host of Wheel of Fortune, though he was no Peter Marshall in Hollywood Squares. Peter Marshall from Huntington, West Virginia. Rolf Benirschke definitely was a solid kicker for the San Diego Chargers. The Epic in Miami, he hit the game-winning field goal. I asked him in my letter about that game-winning field goal. He didn't respond to it, but that's okay. Great to get a legendary Chargers kicker back. And the next one comes from Bob Locker. Bob Locker, last couple of years ago maybe, he had suffered a stroke, and if you can see that autograph clearly, it's pretty shaky. He's 83 years old, so if you have a Bob Locker card, definitely send that out to him. He does take forever to return. And the most interesting thing about Bob Locker, throughout his entire career, he never started a game, which is very odd for a guy pitching in the 60s. You hardly ever saw a guy specialty out of the bullpen back then. They would usually float back and forth if the team did not think they were a solid number 1, 2, or 3 starter. Maybe give you an outing here if one of your other starters needed a rest or whatever. But Bob Locker was strictly a reliever. And the next one comes from Portland State legend Neil Lomax. I met Neil in 1996 when he was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. That was the first year that the College Football Hall of Fame inducted gentlemen who had played in FCS 1AA, Division II, and Division III football, and even NAIA football. Before that, you had to be a FBS minor or 1A back when it was known then. And Neil Lomax put up prodigious numbers at Portland State. He had a solid NFL career. An injury ended his career on him. He had a hip injury. He had to have hip replacement surgery shortly after his retirement. But as you can see, solid numbers throughout his NFL career, and helped lead the then St. Louis Cardinals to the playoffs in 1982. And in one game, 300 and some odd yards passing. Sometimes you get a TTM from a gentleman who you didn't realize how good he was at a certain point in his life on the baseball field. And Pete Stanicheck was that guy. He only played 2 years in the big leagues, but he was an awesome college baseball player. Hit for high average, stole a ton of bases, was a slick fielding infielder, had helped lead Stanford to the 3 straight College World Series appearances. And the crazy thing is, when he was in the Cape Cod League in 1984, 29 members from the Cape Cod League that summer had made an appearance in the big leagues. And Stanicheck was on his way to having a solid 1988 season. Unfortunately, a wrist injury early in the year kind of hampered him throughout the rest of the year, and he just couldn't hit the ball anymore and was out of the big leagues after 1988. He gave it a go in 89 and 90 in the minors, but the Orioles let him go during spring training 1991, and he just retired and moved back to the Chicago suburbs where he grew up. I also asked him if he grew up a Sox fan or a Cubs fan. He didn't respond, but in the 1989 Donruss card, I can see that was the original Comiskey Park. So that is all I have for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one. Be good to each other.